Reading Part 3. Reading for Information. Tips and Strategies. How to read the text. Read in full sentence mode, not vocabulary mode. This will help you read faster because you're not focusing on vocabulary. You only need to focus on vocabulary when it's related to a question directly. This means your focus should be on understanding ideas and meaning more than specific words. Read and repeat main ideas in your mind. This will help you keep the information. Often, students struggle to keep information while they're reading. For that reason, after each sentence, you should try to repeat something from what you just read. Do not try to understand everything. It's not important to understand every part of the text. It is better to scan everything and focus on finishing reading everything. Remember, most likely you don't need to get CLB 12, so not everything is important. Overthinking wastes time. How to manage time effectively. Follow a paragraph questions method. To start, read paragraph A. Then check all the questions and choose which ones can be in A. Then read the questions very carefully the first time. This will simplify finding the information in the other paragraphs. Next, read paragraph B. Then check all the questions to see which ones can be in B. Continue this process for paragraph C and D. Finally, choose E for questions which you think are not in any paragraph. So here we have a sample of part 3 from the CELPIP website. On the left, we have our text. On the right, we have our questions. As stated in our guide for time management, see we only have 9 minutes. The most effective way to do this part is to read paragraph A as soon as we start, and then read the questions, all of them, to see if any of those connect to paragraph A. Then we look at paragraph B, and then we look at the questions. Do any connect to paragraph B? And then we look at paragraph C, and we look at the questions to see if any connect to paragraph C. Then paragraph D. And then we look at the questions to see if any connect to paragraph D. Lastly, we could have paragraph E, maybe none of them, right? If we have time, we can look at any questions that remain lastly. That is the best time management technique. What information to focus on the most? Understanding the main topic. You should be able to know what the main topic is from paragraph A. This will help you understand the ideas related to the topic more clearly. Keyword search from the questions to the text. Understand the keywords from each question. Connect these keywords to the paragraph. Key idea search. Vocabulary helps you connect to the paragraph, but we need to understand if the information in the paragraph is the same information or idea from the question. So understanding ideas very important. Synonyms are very important. Often, the key words will have similar words in the paragraph instead of exactly the same words. So keep synonyms in mind. Responding the questions. Connect the keywords of the sentence to the paragraph. Focus on specific words from the question, which can be connected to the paragraph. Sometimes the words will be exact and can help you understand if the question is connected. Often, the words are synonyms to each other. Words are not enough. Connect key ideas. Information should be an exact match of the idea, not just words. Rephrase the question to make sure to understand the meaning. Synonyms are very important to understand the idea. Is the meaning exact or opposite? If the opposite, then the answer could be E. Eliminate paragraphs. There are usually one or two answers for each paragraph, sometimes three, but never 0 or 4. Usually, 2 paragraphs are very wrong because they do not connect well. Focus on main differences between 2 close paragraphs. If not sure, do not decide until the last minute. So, regarding the information that we need to focus on for our answers, so we need to look at the question And we need to see the key words. I see here isolation, surprising, have long knowing. This reading is about the Sentinelese. So that is not a keyword because here's Sentinelese, here's Sentinelese, here's Sentinelese. So it's not a keyword. Similarly, I see the Indian government, the government, the government. That's not going to be a keyword either because it's in many parts, and probably this whole text is about the government and the Sentinelese. So when we look for keywords, it's trying to understand what part of the question makes it different. We're talking here about the isolation and have long knowing, or the government leave food offerings. That's key here. Or in number 3, a bill to protect from modern diseases. So keywords is what is important or what is emphasized in the question that can be found in one specific area. I see here little is knowing. Maybe that connects to long knowing. You see, that was a keyword. Also, I see in here gifts of coconuts. Maybe that connects to leave food offerings. So we need to try to connect. That is what is meant by keyword search. Now, one thing is keywords, another thing is an idea. So I mentioned here that I saw the word knowing and little is knowing. That's a connection. But does that mean that this sentence, due to lack of access, little is knowing about the Sentinelese people? Is that the same idea as Sentinelese isolation is surprising because travelers have long knowing about their island? Is that the same connection? That's what is meant by key idea search. There's the keywords, which connect us to a paragraph. But then we need to understand if the idea is the same idea in the keywords. So those are two different ways of understanding the text. And the questions. Also, it mentions synonyms. Yes, synonyms are very important. Sometimes it might not say the word directly. For example, isolation. It may not be said in here, isolation exactly, but we can think of similar words, closed off, enclosed, kept away, or a similar idea. Okay, food offerings, gifts, presents. So synonyms are important. Sometimes as well, I find that if the word is said directly, it could be a way to confuse. Okay? Some, especially lower level students, when they find the similar words, oh, they think that's it. That's the answer. But that's why, again, we mentioned the difference between keywords and key ideas. Also about E as well. E, usually if the information is similar but opposite, keep in mind opposites, because sometimes they say similar information but they give the opposite idea as the question. That usually is E. So that's a very important point to make about key ideas. Lastly, as it says in the guide, usually each paragraph has one or two A's, one or two B's, one or two C's, and one or two D's, and one or two E's. Sometimes there's three of one paragraph, but never 0 or 4. It's good to know as well. That is the end of reading part 3, reading for information, tips, and strategies.